Hey everybody, it's Karyn and Pete here. Are you there? Are you there? We're live. Live to the world, Pete, coming.
This is dangerous.
It is dangerous. We wanted to do let me get a lean over here for a second. A live chat this time because there was so much that went on at UFC 178. And it was just kind of easier to sit here and just kind of chat. And I know that people like to kind of get questions in and talk to us a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, now we can read the cruel comments in real time.
In real time. Yeah, you took it a little hard last time, didn't you?
Well, I was referred to as high old guy.
High old guy.
I like, I'd rather like relaxed looking guy with obvious life experience. that would, that's what I was going for.
That's really kind of more what you were going for. You weren't high. I can vouch for you.
No, I was not high. I was not high.
And you're not old.
Am I old? That depends on if you're 14, I'm probably a little old. If you're 72, I'm a youngin'. I'm a youngin'. And
yeah.
Is it on delay?
Well, this is the live feed, so it's coming all back around, Pete. That's how it works. Yeah, I'm gonna tweet here that
technology.
It's the technology.
My day. Old guy's day.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell people they can join us right now. I'm tweeting it again, so so that everybody can sit there and talk about, because it was a big event, obviously. Yeah. Who were you most impressed with? That's always a good one to start with.
I think Dominick Cruz is after a 3-year layoff.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
That fight could have been stopped about 6 blows earlier.
Yeah, that was.
That dude was helpless.
Yeah, that was kind of bad. I know a lot of people were complaining about the stoppage and that it was a little bit late. Yeah. I think we all kind of knew that he was done, that Zingano was done. It's hard, because people love to complain. It's either too late or too fast. It's too this, it's too that.
His arm was pinned to the side. Yeah. He wasn't doing that. I mean, he was just absorbing shot after shot after shot.
Right.
But, what an incredible, what a performance.
Right. Yeah, I think I was probably most impressed with Dom, too. Obviously I work with him a lot now. And he has been so focused about that comeback and just so convinced, that everything was going to go right. But stuff happens, and so the whole time leading up to that fight, I mean, I got a little bit tense there. It was nerve wracking, but then he came out and he was so fluid and so and he you could tell he was just happy, and when they're announcing him and he's just back, I mean, it just felt good to have him back.
And it's just great to see his joy afterwards, because because you're like, wow, that's what real hard work and determination.
Right.
That's what it will get you. So
right.
So I actually wrote down hard work and determination, and I'm looking to buy some today. Maybe go to Home Depot.
It's
get
weird.
A crate of it.
It's weird because you say that I don't know. It's hard. When's the last time you felt just pure joy over something like that? I don't even like that. I can't even say something like that.
It's just well-earned sense of pride. I mean, that was a sense of pride that he earned, and yeah, it was great to see. So that was my fight of the night.
Nice, yeah. Dominick was amazing. I also was really impressed with Zingano. Same type of thing where she, her layoff obviously not nearly as long, but she had a very tragic year. Her husband, as we know, committed suicide. It's not even died. It's even more so. So that I would think would just play on your mind even more so. There's so much to consider with that, and then also knee surgery and everything. So
she was a kid too.
Right? Yeah. I mean, she had a tough go of it.
I mean, first of all, I don't know how she got out of that first round.
I know.
That was amazing, and I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, she's a tough girl. She's tougher than you and I put together, for sure.
And you quickly forget that that's a chick fighting.
Right.
You're first I did 2 chicks and stuff, and and then you're like, no, that's not I don't know what that is. That's just and she and then when they interviewed her afterwards, and she was like, you could just, I mean, she's fighting on pure fear. I mean, I mean, she couldn't even, she's like hyperventilating and like close to tears. And, and she's like, I just want to get home and, hug my boy. And I'm like, wow, like that's what you have to put in to go into work every day. Like that, like she put herself into a life and death situation. I can honestly say when I showed up for work today, I did not put myself in a life and death situation. No, you didn't. So hats off.
Yeah. It's true. It's interesting that you bring that up, with the mom and going back to see the kid, because I mean, I don't want to say that women fighters have it harder, but women fighters have it harder. There's a number of them that do have children. I mean, obviously, a lot of them don't. But it's a big difference. Obviously, we know that when you have a child, your life changes. But it changed. It changed way more for me than it did for Wade. It changed way more for your wife than it did for you.
Wade, you want to help me out here?
Come on. You know it did.
Listen.
Because mommy's mommy. Like you, mommy is mommy. We have a lot more riding on the.
You know what?
They cut us some slack for sure. I at least saw her daughter.
Yeah. She's not as tough on daddy.
I can burn her sandwich. I can.
But look what daddy made me. I'm like, oh, that.
Yeah, see, I don't actually get that. Maybe it's because I got boys.
Yeah,
maybe my boys. But listen, I will say is that she's a single parent.
Yes.
So that goes without.
Oh,
I mean, she's got to. So she's got to go off to training camp, but be the single parent now, and that's just tough. And she just ruined that girl's face. I mean,
Amanda. And it's tough because before, the fight, everybody was, she's supposedly going to get the next shot at Ronda. But Ronda has been so dominant that you're not, you're like, yeah, okay.
And that's a heck of a prize.
I know. Yeah,
hey, you get to fight Ronda now. Oh,
totally.
Really?
But it is a prize to get that belt. But as I was watching her tossing Amanda around and in there just digging deep, I thought, we're going to have a good fight. When she and Ronda fight, that's going to be a good fight. Because she's not afraid. Clearly, Kat is not afraid of things.
Or she's afraid of everything and it helps her fight really well.
Maybe, yeah.
Listen, the way she came out of that first round, she's certainly tough enough. She's not going to wilt. And,
no, because I think Ronda obviously wins on her talent and on her skill, but I think she defeats a lot of people before they even get there. Yeah. They're so freaked out and so nervous and scared of her that they have points are already taken off their life. If we're playing the game, you know what I mean. Their life meter is already a little bit low when they go in there. But the other thing is I had said I wanted Amanda Nunes. When we have that action movie about us, Pete, when there is the MMA action movie, the Fox action movie, I wanted Amanda Nunes to be my stunt double. Like, because if if we get her a curly wig, or if I play it with straight, she's like basically the same height and everything like that, and like she's a badass. I mean, the thing is, she obviously clearly lost to Kat, but she's a badass. And that girl she could be my stunt double. I've decided.
And I want some high old guy to be my stunt
double.
I want some 78-year-old.
Really old.
Willie Nelson. I want Willie Nelson. A unmusical Willie Nelson. To be my stunt double.
That's actually hilarious.
So
so the other big story coming out too was Yoel Romero and Tim Kennedy. So they got fight of the night. And I was watching everything. I was cage side for everything after Dom. And so this played out right in front of me. The whole stool gate, everything played out right in front of me. And like everybody, I was very confused at what was going on. Like, is it over? I literally was sitting there, I was like, it's over. Like, it was because it was such an entertaining fight. I really didn't care who won, you know what I mean? I didn't have a dog in the fight in that way, but was really enjoying how it was playing out. So I was very confused. It's over? Like, that sucks. It's over, man. Like, but good on Tim. He got it done, and he can't come out. And then he did come out, and it was crazy because Tim came over, and he started yelling, to Big John McCarthy, like, he's not getting up, type thing. And John, like, kind of shoves him away. He's like, get back over to your corner. And it's just total mayhem going on. Didn't know what was going on, but sure enough, obviously, we know the bell had already rang, and you all got an extra 30 seconds or so, but he got off that stool. When he finally did get off that stool, that was a man with a mission.
You know what? To be honest, I think he got a lucky shot in at the start of that round, and then just his energy went in to finish it off. Because I don't think he was a man on a mission getting off that stool. I think he was a broken dude getting off and the whole thing of, like, there was a language barrier. Right. Like, if you've been fighting, like, get the fuck off the stool is pretty much it's
Universally,
time.
Get up. Right,
You know, so yeah. Did they keep? Listen, his corner did a great job. His corner bent the rules as much as they could for their fighter, and that's what you want.
Well, it's an old trick, the whole thing about the grease, too much grease, and then it takes time, and then the ref, we got to call somebody in. But the monkey in the thing is that it was a UFC person who put the grease on. So the whole problem is that you can't just blame Yoel's corner, because actually the UFC person is the one who put the extra grease on. So was
that the grease that was put on at the beginning of the fight?
No, like between rounds, they kind of clean you up, and there was an extra big gob. So it's tricky to who to blame, because they say you can't just blame Yoel's guy.
It was definitely like a comedy of errors. As he's going like, what do you say?
Right. I mean, he certainly could have gotten off the stool and waited to get wiped,
first of all,
off the stool.
There aren't too many options that someone's going to be saying to you. They're either going to be saying, get off the stool. No one's going to be saying, like, do you want coffee now? Did you see Expendables 3? He was like, what are you asking me?
Yeah,
but
see, the thing is that then when he did come out, like I said, I saw him, like, he blasted Tim right in front of me. And part of it also, though, I wonder if, and we won't know, I wonder what Tim's mindset was. Did Tim think, okay, was he so distracted because he was so irate that, okay, now his head's out of the game a little bit. You know what I mean? So finally Yoel gets up and the round does start. Is Tim so distracted that he's out of it? Or was he also at this point sort of highly confident? All right, listen, I almost just finished him. I got this. Let me take a moment here and he didn't get that moment because Yoel was like, shoot, now or never type thing. I don't know. The other problem is, if you see, there is a gif going around of Tim Kennedy holding Yoel's glove with his fingers hooked under Yoel's glove while he lands a couple shots. That is also against the rules.
But that's up for the ref to call. Like when you're in there.
Yeah. It happened very quickly, so it's hard to see.
Well, also
there's a gif of it.
Yeah, but when you're in there, he's in a fight.
Yeah.
So whether he's got to hold a guy's that's up to the ref to call. Like, I don't think he consciously thought I'm gonna cheat now.
Oh, you don't think so?
This. I think he's fighting. He's fighting, and and if the ref, and the ref doesn't call it, it's.
I don't know if he consciously thought of it or not. I'm not in Tim Kennedy's head.
I can't get on anyone for that. I mean, that's the ref. And even the stool thing. It's like boxing. They'll screw with a tape on your gloves. They'll have you spit out the mouthpiece.
No, there's all kinds of tricks.
That's an old. Listen, everyone did the best job that they could to win.
Right.
And,
it's interesting too, though. I don't know. I mean, would you? I think the thought is that Tim Kennedy may appeal and he wants it to be a no contest. I don't think that's going to happen. One of the guys from the commission came out and was talking to a bunch of us after it. I don't think it's going to get appealed or overturned. Would you want to see a rematch?
Definitely want to see a rematch.
You would see a rematch.
But listen, he was on that stool for 90 seconds.
90 seconds. Where Tim had 60, so yes, he had 30 seconds extra.
That's a half a minute longer. I mean, they still talk about boxing matches like Jack Dempsey, who got the long count.
Right.
On,
right.
On a fight over 100 years ago, because the count was 14 seconds rather than 10.
Right.
50% more time is a long
I love when they're doing the count and then they yell at somebody.
And then they come back. Where was?
Yeah.
But that's 30 seconds is a long time.
It's a very long time, especially when you were that close to being knocked out. 30 seconds does save your life.
Right.
I mean, he got saved by the bell, essentially, in the second. And so, listen, if I'm Tim Kennedy, I'm pissed, for sure.
If he had to come out at 60 seconds, one, I don't know if he would have come out, and two, I don't think it would have been.
He would have won.
I don't think it would have been the ending that it was.
How about that sprawl on him, though? I mean, obviously, he's an Olympic wrestler, but, I really enjoyed that fight, and it was just every time Tim Kennedy even thought the word takedown in his head, I was like, nope, sprawl. It's incredible. He's incredible. And then there was one time that he got down and fast backed up so fast. It's just ridiculous. I've said it before. Last time we fight, I was like, if they're I'm saying if, I know a lot of people think when, but when there is an Armageddon, if there is an Armageddon, like Yoel is so on my team. I'm so picking that dude. Do you know what I mean? Like just I want to walk behind him for the rest of my life and just talk smack to everybody and have it.
Yeah, but you realize that someone can shoot him with a gun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No,
don't
if
blow
there's
it. Come
Armageddon, you just got to go by the smallest guy with the biggest gun.
I'm with the biggest guy.
Yeah. I'm going by that freak. I'm just making friends with that freak in Montana.
Yeah.
Cabin.
Oh no, totally.
He's got his cabin outfitted.
That's what I said. I love that movie Pacific Rim when the people are, the kaiju are coming out of the water and the people still are living on the coastline. I was like, what the hell? Like you don't pass go. You go immediately to Montana or something. You get as far away.
I have no loyalty to my neighborhood. I'm not sticking around.
I know.
I mean, if there's even like a bad flu in my neighborhood, I'm like, we might want to think of moving.
We might want to go. So the other couple interesting fights there. Cowboy looked great. That was a fun fight with Eddie Alvarez. Cowboy admitted afterwards that he's a slow starter. Like he doesn't, and he can't figure out why. But he looked good. Sometimes people think he chokes in the big fights. Obviously, he didn't this weekend.
There was a real theme of like people getting their ass kicked in the first round
and then coming back
totally to winning it, which just amazes me, the conditioning, like both mental and physical. Right. I mean, if I get my ass kicked in the first round, one, I want to go home.
Totally. Find a happy place. Find a happy place.
But two, to think like, okay, I think I've got him figured out now.
He said that literally his mindset was when he was eating those punches, he was just like, all right, I got you, son, but he's like, not today. These are not going to get me today, not today. You know what I mean?
No, he looked great.
He's just cool. He actually, we were talking to Cowboy before, we saw him right before weigh-ins, and he was pretty bummed out because there was some problems with the scales backstage. Usually Bert has them really well calibrated, and it says there's a sign that says like touch and die. You know what I mean? Like you can't get on that scale, and he said there were some issues backstage, so he really wasn't even sure what his weight. So he had to overcompensate because he was like, I can't, not come in. So he suffered, for this one and had to like really cover his bases to make sure he made weight. So.
I think a touch and die sign is a little confusing. If someone was confused by round starts now, get up. I mean, touch and die. Die a different color? Do you want me to? Are you saying you want me to touch the scale and die it?
Bert just commands that scale. You cannot get on the scale. Like you can get on and check it. Yeah. But it's funny. It's so Demetrius, the thing. Well, wait, it was stuck. It wasn't playing.
No, it will.
Okay.
We've messed
Sorry,
up.
I screwed up again. The Demetrius fight, it's interesting because for a lot of people, Conor McGregor was kind of the main event. They said that 10% of the ticket sales had gone to Ireland, and
but 90% went to the U.S.
My thing is that maybe 10% of the ticket sales went to Ireland. About 3% of those people were cogent enough to watch the fight. They had. I mean, I've been to Ireland. I absolutely love Ireland. Those fans were so fired up. Like They were so loud even just at the weigh-ins. It was really a lot of fun. And actually a lot of people kind of left, unfortunately, after his fight because they just wanted to go out and celebrate. And the thing that was interesting about Conor's fight was, he said he was going to knock him out in the first round and everything. And I remember watching it. I was like, wait, huh? Like it's over. I actually did expect a lot more. Because Dustin is good. I expected a lot more. And it was almost kind of just like this weird punch land. I don't know. It was a little anticlimactic.
I think the guy's great.
I think he's great too.
And he's great for the sport. And listen, he psychs people out. I mean, he had Dustin so angry.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And I'm not sure that this happens, but sometimes when you get people so angry, you get them off their fight.
Oh, for sure.
And and you've gotten inside their head. And hey, man, he did a great job.
I think he's
great for the sport.
Obviously great for the sport. He's so and what I love is he's so polarizing. So the lovers love to watch him. The haters watch him, hoping he's losing and can't wait to see him lose.
Well, and it gives Ireland some. I mean, without him, Ireland has like a potato that looks like Clinton, and,
well, we were talking
and not
about
much
that.
else to root
We
for.
were talking about that in the bunch of us sitting around having lunch. Like he's the best athlete to come out of Ireland, or in terms of notoriety. Like when's the last time you had an athlete that came out of Ireland that was somebody that people talked about? It's like, so he's great for the sport, and he's great for Ireland, and he can back it up. He's a good fighter. He looks sharp. I love his whole flair. I think. Oh,
and he has a mustache. He looks like he should be like blowing foam, off a beard too.
Totally. He's great, and I tell people that he's an interviewer's dream. He's so much fun to talk to,
right?
Because you know he's going to say something outrageous and ridiculous and funny. He's a charming guy. He really is. I think he's a lot of fun. But again, getting to Demetrius, it was like everybody in the crowd was actually quite quiet during that fight, because it was like, well, we all kind of. I think most fans thought, all right, we know how it's going to end.
Yeah,
like, Demetrius is so flawless that you just kind of go, it's inevitable.
Right.
No disrespect to Chris, who's a lovely guy. I had a nice talk with him last week. He had nothing to lose, going in there. He had the potential to pull a huge upset. But Demetrius is just so ridiculously good.
I mean, he's so good, and he's so even-keeled, and like he's the guy
you'll never throw him off with his.
He's the guy, like, if your daughter said, "Hey, I'm now dating him," you'd be like, I'm okay with that. But if she says she's dating Conor McGregor, you're like, okay, I'm now going to go and register for a handgun, and in about 7 days, I'm going to have to stop this.
Yeah, you actually want Demetrius in the family. Yeah.
So, but he's so much, he's so much fun to watch fight.
Is.
But
he is.
But yeah, there's no controversy. There's no he's super gracious after the fight, and he's just damn good.
He is. He's flawless. When you just watch his moves, he just moves so well. But we were kind of talking about this too, that we need somebody to come along, not even just who is matched with him in skill set, but somebody who could find something to like. Not that Demetrius needs to bring out an edge, but like he needs a real rival. Like he needs, you know what I mean? It'll make him. It'll help him sell himself, because it's ridiculous. It's because he's the lightest weight class. He's 125er, and a lot of people don't pay attention to the lighter weights, which is just stupid. Because if Demetrius was anything, if he was even a lightweight, if Demetrius was just 2 weight classes higher, people wouldn't shut up about him. So I feel like it'll be nice if he gets a rival, if he gets somebody that really he gets to clash with.
He needs Conor McGregor.
He needs somebody, he does.
He's like, there should be some guy should just come out in like an Indian headdress, like warrior guy, and just be crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah. No, we need we should go to like the insane asylums and
just find
like Manson, a young Charles Manson.
There was actually a Key and Peele. Do you watch Key and Peele ever? Those guys are really funny. They had a skit about that one time, this UFC skit, and they had the whole thing where the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna like kick my butt." The guy's opponent. I mean, my opponent's butt, and this and that. And then they start to show the guy, and the other guy is literally crazy, and he starts to talk about like these voodoo spells or something he's putting on, and this and that. And they cut back and forth, and then the first guy's just like. Starts to worry that this guy's literally going to chop his head off and drink his blood.
That would be great.
It's very funny.
Yeah,
it's a funny skit.
And and a guy who's actually bitten his last 8 opponents.
Is that what we need? Is that really what we need? Because that's going to make us better?
Because then you're like, I'm a little afraid for Demetrius. I still think he's going to win, but he might get eaten.
Should there also be a moat of sharks around the cage?
Listen, I don't want to tell the UFC how to market themselves. I think they've been doing a fairly good job, but the moat of sharks is something they might want to consider.
It could be. It could be. Wait, let's see. Let's take a couple of questions here. Let's see. Ronda can be beat by a current UFC fighter if she doesn't continue to evolve. This is from B. Baffo. Saying, just like with the men, and she hasn't been seen in recent history, if you don't evolve, you will become Barao. Well, I think Ronda is evolving, though. I mean, she trains, that woman trains extremely hard. And yes, she trains with her family, her family at Glendale Fight Club. But I think I don't see her plateauing anytime soon. Really.
She doesn't strike me as someone who's going to get complacent.
No,
you know, I mean, I guess maybe if she becomes some Hollywood star,
right?
Maybe, but I just don't see everything. Like every time she's in an interview, I just don't see Ronda getting
lazy.
complacent.
No, well, that's something that Conor has to say about like Jose Aldo, for example, who is the champ currently in his division. That once you're champ for so long, that maybe you aren't getting better, and maybe you have peaked, and maybe you have plateaued. And so the thing with Aldo, he's so good and so dominant, and we didn't get to see that fight with Chad Mendes in August that we were supposed to, so that's obviously coming up. I think there's some truth to that idea that you can get a little bit used to, maybe not getting pushed as hard and stuff. Like when you're up and coming, you're hungrier for it. Right. Maybe some people don't feel the tension of the defenses as much as the tension of trying to fight for the title. But
if there's anyone that would happen to, it would happen to a Ronda or Demetrius Johnson. But like all these other champs, like they all have like 5 losses on their belt. Yeah. It's not like boxing. Like guys have lost. They've tasted defeat. The money isn't huge like boxing. So I think that keeps most champs like a Ronda Rousey like hungry. I mean, So,
well, let's see what
on Twitter. Ernesto Aguilar. Asking, where do you think Amanda Nunes goes?
Yeah, I think Amanda's fine. Listen, there's a lot of girls that she can fight still. I think Liz Carmouche might be looking for a fight. Liz is right above her. I'm not too worried about Amanda. I'm not too worried really about any of the ladies who take a loss, since the ladies division is newer in the organization, and obviously they've been around now for a little while. But I don't think. Amanda had a great showing in the first round. You know what I mean? She obviously just keep growing and keep getting some more, skills in her toolbox. But I don't think a loss to Kat Zingano, who's the #1 ranked fighter, is like anything to sit there and like, now she's really dropped down. There's a lot of good women for her to fight still.
Well, and I think also she kind of knows what she has to work on for that fight. I mean, of course.
Moving my face out of the way of punches.
Well, when she was on her back, she was not very active.
Right.
And so if she looks at the first round and looks how Kat was with her, and then she knows what to work on, and moving the face out of the way of that elbow.
That would be important.
But she'll probably have a few Saturday nights alone until she recovers, so that'll help her. Really train and focus.
Yes, I think so. There are some, Sufine Tufela says, do you feel Mighty Mouse is correct in setting his eyes on Cruz already? I think that would be a great fight, but it might be a bit premature. Well, here's the thing. Do I think it's wrong? Not necessarily. I mean, I guess Sufine, if I'm pronouncing your name right, I guess that matters if you think Demetrius has already cleared out the division, which a lot of people think. Like, he's so dominant that he should have another chance at Dominick Cruz, and they could, he can go up and wait and do that. I don't know. Why not try to take on Dominic if you don't think you have somebody else to fight down here? But Demetrius has always said he still felt like there were people, there were challenges ahead of him at 125 as well. But I could see him fighting Dominic. I mean, those two are so technically good. I don't think a rematch there is a terrible idea.
Right. I mean, it's kind of sucked to have to keep fighting guys who you've already beaten too.
Yeah, he's beaten most of the guys. A couple times. He beat Joseph twice.
Didn't I do this before?
Yeah,
what do I get for beating him again?
Yeah, that's true.
It's sort of in a no-win situation.
Yeah, for his sake, he may as well challenge himself and do something that might be a little bit harder, just to keep himself interested in what he's doing too.
And also no one's going to discredit him. If he moves up and he should happen to take a tough loss.
Right.
But
there's no shame in losing to Dominick Cruz. Obviously, he knows that. So. Yeah.
No, I think he should do it.
I think Demetrius should do whatever the hell he wants to. You know what I mean? Let's see. Is Jacare due for a title fight right now? Probably.
Opinion on
that. Yeah. I mean, Jacare, he beat Gegard. Jacare's a beast. I think he is probably. I mean, sure. I would go ahead for that. I mean, the winner of Jacare versus Romero. Yeah, you could say that could be a title eliminator, a contender eliminator. I don't know. I think Jacare's already done a bit more. not necessarily. I mean,
say their names.
Yeah.
Dean.
I think that Jacare probably has more heat on him. Like, I think people would rather see a Jacare. I mean, versus, you know, what we know, Weidman and Vitor, now that's getting pushed back. The crazy thing is if Vitor beat Chris Weidman and we had Jacare Vitor, that would be insane. You know what I mean? Like, so that, I don't know. I guess it all kind of plays out. I think that the ducks will fall into line. It depends on who you think is going to win, Chris Weidman or Vitor Belfort.
Never go against Chris Weidman.
That's the thing. It's hard to go against Chris Weidman. It's hard to go against Chris Weidman.
How do you go against him? He's, you know, you can't go against him until he loses.
I know. I thought Lyoto was going to maybe steal it, but after that, it's very hard to go against him. But you know, the delay in the fight, some people think could be beneficial for Vitor, getting more used to his body without the TRT therapy. So by the time that fight comes around, I mean, Vitor is a beast. Vitor has got a very, very well-rounded skill set, and you know, by the time that fight does come around, he's going to be much more used to that body. I don't know, but I agree with you. It's extremely hard to bet against Chris Weidman.
I mean, he's just a guy who goes to work and gets the job done,
just gets it done.
You know, and goes home.
Yeah,
and you know, you can't go against a guy like that.
It's hard. It's hard.
Who should Romero face next?
Winner of Lyoto versus CB Dalloway, Ace Coco. I don't know. That's not terrible. I mean, I think it's going to be Lyoto. Yoel versus Lyoto, that could be kind of interesting. That sprawl on Romero is ridiculous. But and he's very, very fast. I mean, that's the thing. Lyoto is extremely fast too. I think if you saw them next to each other, Yoel would seem gigantic next to Lyoto. Right. But Lyoto is so elusive. You know, that's the thing is you got to catch a guy to take him down. But Romero is very explosive. I don't know. That's actually not terrible. I do think it's going to be Lyoto over CB Dalloway. Hey, listen, I'd watch it.
Bring it on. That's why it's so nice to be in our position.
Yes, I'd
watch it. I'd watch these guys fight for their lives.
I know. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I love that people are saying that Conor is the pride of Europe. That's so cute. People are really fun and loving the Conor McGregor. Let's see. Sebastian, is every MMA podcast sponsored by Onnit or what? I know they work with Joe Rogan. We love the people at Onnit, and I took my Alpha Brain this morning. That's why I'm so witty. And you clearly.
And I didn't. That's why I look like a high old guy. If I'd taken my Alpha Brain, I would have looked like a sharp.
Right.
Guy on the other side of 40.
No, they're really cool people. I like their products a lot. Like I said, the Alpha Brain, you know, kind of makes you feel like a little more alert and all that stuff. But if you go to
is that stuff just like kind of like a legal?
It's
drug?
called a neurotropic or something like that. I don't know, Pete. It's just supposed to help your brain work better.
Does it make you feel clear though? Does it?
I think so. Yeah, I like it. That's what I'm saying. There are days when I go, oh no, I forgot to take it. Like I feel like, am I going to be a little bit dumber today? I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm not sure.
I'm going to try Alpha Brain.
Yeah, I don't know if you go to MMAheat.com/Alpha Brain, /Onnit rather, and you'll get a 10% discount on there. So if you buy it off of our site, and I also, like I said, the new mood is great. That's what I take at night. I've had some crazy dreams. It's fun.
That's just scary. That's just.
No, it's cool. I don't know what. Again, I don't know what's in it, but for the dreams alone, I would say go to MMAheat.com /Onnit and buy some New Mood. It is awesome.
I'm going to try Alpha Brain.
Yeah.
Do you have 7 Alpha Brain pills that I can borrow for the week?
7 that you can borrow for the week?
Right,
I don't know.
Well, borrow. I guess.
I don't want them back.
I guess I would have to actually.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to get your own because Wade's like, "Where'd you put the Alpha Brain?"
Really? So you guys are kind of like Alpha Brain addicts.
I think we could spare some Alpha Brain.
He thinks I'm bogarting it or something. I'm like, dude, it's just in the cabinet.
Bro, just read the back of the label. Don't do Alpha Brain like these guys do. They're mainlining it. It's bad.
Yeah, WizKid Davis says that I would be the best ring girl, but I wouldn't though because well, luckily they don't wear heels because they do wear the sneakers, so I could pull it up. I grew up. I was always such a jock when I grew up. I didn't wear heels till I was 20 something. I'm not good at heels so much, but at least the ring girls, they don't wear heels, so I might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, I think you can pull off ring girl.
But those girls are tiny, like literally.
Tiny's not every guy's thing.
No, I know that's true, but they're tiny girls. One of them was standing in front of me one time, and I swear she turned sideways. I'm all, where'd she go? Like they're tiny. I got a little more junk in the trunk. I got a little more. I did better in the Brazil show. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. There you go. Little samba. There you go.
But I will say this: they do need. Obviously we got some hottie Brazilians, but I do. Chandela back in the day. For a while there was an African American ring girl. I do think they could use another one. I don't think I'm it, but I think
they should have like ring guys for when the
girls fight. I know that it does always seem weird.
I just go up with my car.
Dude, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. You got that belly hanging over the shorts, right? Not you specifically. I'm saying a guy.
You in general, but you just sort of went like this to me and stuff. Here I kind of backed up your.
Pete. You would walk if you could have the beer in your hand as well while you carried the card.
Yeah, a ring guy. A ring guy. You know? I mean, I think the girls fight should have ring guys.
I think the fundamental difference is that we don't need to be ugly. We don't need sex violence all at the same time. We can handle just focusing on one thing.
I will say the pay-per-view showed the ring girls very little.
Oh, did they?
No, it was like just them coming down, and the guy had the same like creepy. And there's
beautiful Brittany. Yeah.
Watch our weigh-ins. I specialize in
the weigh-ins. Listen, I love it's funny to me to watch when they walked out and where the camera goes. Like giving everybody their.
Well, they're certainly hot women.
Of course, and I will tell you this. Oftentimes I am getting ready with them. Susie, lovely makeup artist, sometimes does my makeup for the show, and so do the girls. And so I've seen the girls.
Have you seen them?
I've seen some of the girls. Yes, and I'm saying they're hot. They're definitely hot. They're definitely hot.
So
but the crazy thing to me is I went one time and I was looking. I was like, oh, what's that napkin on the couch? Oh, that's their outfit. You know what I mean? It's like somebody left a red napkin, small pocket square of a thing, and it was the outfit. I don't have enough nerve for that.
No, but they're not wearing thongs.
No, but there's some booty.
Come on, listen. I'm sure there's challenges to being a ring girl.
Yes, there is.
But it also seems like a fairly cushy job to be a ring girl. Yes,
I gotta fly around the world and go hang out at a show. Yeah. I would hate that. Yeah, you don't hear them complain a lot, do you?
No. I think that you can either be born really, really pretty and make your money doing this, or you can be one of the women who's absorbing shots to the face.
No in between.
So it's good. But that's a nice compliment.
Well, somebody just said, Whitey Prod said I could be a guest ring girl for the first show in the Caribbean.
I like it.
Yes, that would actually please.
So far, no one's taken me up, on my ring guy.
Let me on your ring guy.
I mean, there must be some country where I could be like a ring guy. Like, I don't know. Some place where
Nordic,
where everyone's kind of ugly and out of shape.
Grew this in more, and you went like full, like more sort of Nordic-y, maybe.
If we combine like the girth of Samoa with like the pastiness of some like northern like Iceland, I think I could fit in as a ring guy.
You might be able to.
A fat Icelandic guy, a country of fat Icelandic.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I keep reading a lot from that person, so I'm trying to look around. D. Cox says, nice eyeshadow. Why, thank you very much. It is from the Urban Decay palette, I believe, for all the ladies. You can tune out now. I'm talking about makeup.
Apparently, Brian Callen is volunteering for.
Oh, is he? Yeah, nice.
For being the ring guy.
Oh, Brian Callen, he's hilarious. That'd be good, you guys. But yeah, it's Urban Decay. It's this palette that came with all these bright colors, and I like it. So thank you for that.
I used Colgate toothpaste and Ivory soap. If anyone's wondering how I got my
Ivory, that is the Ivory,
and Flop Sweat. I believe this is Flop Sweat on the forehead.
Ivory soap dries my skin out so much. Oy, I can't use it. But was there no post-fight scrum with Dana? Actually, there wasn't one the other night. We have to scrum a lot. But Dana didn't do one. They were kind of going to do it, and then Conor sat down. So actually, if you look at my at this channel that you're watching right now, YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant, you'll see the 8 minutes or so that Conor did after the press conference. Also, Whitey Prod saying that you could be the Midwest Bellator guy.
I'm not sure.
Well, the Bellator
is that
girls,
kind of a compliment? Or
yeah, the Bellator girls on the whole are a little healthier than the UFC girls. They're by no means fat or anything like that, but they have a slightly more meat on their bones. Slightly more meat on their bones.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm going to take that.
We might have to start you on the local circuit. You might have to start on a small show.
First, I play at like the county fairgrounds when it's not really a sanctioned fight. It's just two girls in a bar who started fighting over the same guy.
Smoker at MTA out in the valley. We'll get you going at one of those.
I'm good. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start doing the stomach crunches now.
But you can't. That's the whole thing. Is you can't work out. It has to be the natural raw maleness.
Yeah. Well, I got to be the women's ideal of a guy. So. Whoa, I gotta get taller. I gotta get taller. I gotta make a lot more money.
See George Clooney, and then just go from there.
Yes, just put a George Clooney mask in front
That's
of
all
me.
you need to do.
Right.
Miguel Portela says, UFC needs to improve the Portuguese-English translation. For me, it's fine, but for most of the fans, they don't get what the Brazilian fighters really say. Now, see, I think Derek does a really good job. I know a lot of time he's there calling the fights. I think Derek does a good job. There's another guy, I want to say, what is his name? Edward, that's not even his name. Bigger guy who is also quite good. I feel like what happens sometimes with that, because I do understand a lot, obviously not everything still. There's a lot of colloquialisms that I don't understand from Brazilians that, that change around. But I understand a lot of what they're saying. And sometimes I think it's really just for the sake of brevity that Derek or the guys might kind of shorten things up. I think they try to get the nuances out there, as best they can. But I also think maybe, there's some things that maybe just don't really translate as well. I don't know. It's tough. People always complain about translators. It's a hard job. They're also, especially some people, are extremely long-winded. And so then you're sitting there, because I've worked with my buddy Trevor Landolt. We were doing the show the last time when Machida and Gegard fought in Brazil. And, sometimes these people give long answers, and you see Trevor like, okay, you like trying to stockpile everything to get it right. So it's a difficult job. It's a difficult job, but I do think I think Trevor does a really good job. I think Derek's pretty great at it personally, but there's always room for improvement.
I mean, if Portuguese is your first language, you're gonna notice some scripts.
Yeah. But all right, yes. Oh no, nice. Oh, let's see. Is there anything? Okay. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you something though, Pete. Before we go here, is that did you think that? Wait, what is this? Okay, so. Where did you actually watch these fights? Because you went to a bar.
I watched them Goal on 3rd Street. And the great thing was when he didn't come up off the stool.
Rioel. Right.
He didn't come off the stool. There was some dude sitting in the bar saying, "Come on, get up, you pussy!" And it's like, really, dude? Really?
That's what that guy is.
Because you really think that you'd be getting up off that stool right now? You and your 8th pint of beer sitting there.
The guy who would have peed himself during the walk to the octagon, ever to go.
And it's just like one thing you cannot call anybody who steps into the octagon is a pussy.
No.
I don't care if the guy got knocked out in 15 seconds. Yeah, he had to do the walk out there.
Right.
So it was fun, but it's funny like the crowd. It was like white tattooed guys and like really hot young Hispanic girls for some reason.
Okay.
And they were all like really into it. But like
who were they rooting for the most? Who were they cheering for the most?
Yeah, it didn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was sort of back and forth, but it was just like this kind of this like weird, and like a couple of the girls are yelling, "Come on, kill her!" In the in Cat's fight.
That fight was awesome. I really
like, kill her, and it was like a really like beautiful girl who like. Who 30 seconds ago I was like, all right, don't be creepy. Don't like look at her again. Come on, it's gonna be creepy.
But you're creepy high old guy. We're adding creepy to the mix.
You can't. Okay. Oh, so now I'm creepy high old guy. Nice.
Pound creepy old guy.
No, hashtag high old guy is pretty great.
Hashtag high old guy.
We might have to get that going. Nice. But the thing is about the women thing, like we actually have a lot of pent-up anger. Like, women are, I think, a lot more angry. I feel like that fight, what's inside of Kat, what's inside of Rhonda, what's inside of Liz, what's inside of a lot of these women, I think is actually inside a lot of us. We don't get to display it. You guys get to be... Right. We're supposed to be the more delicate sex and this and that, but that doesn't mean we have less fire, less of a competitor. You and I know, we go and we hit the tennis ball around a little bit, and I'm equally as aggressive as you, I think, in terms of how bad I want to like crush it and stuff. So I think that's what I really love about the fact that we've got the bantamweights now and the strawweights too. Like even at 5 pounds, these girls are kicking. Like it's fun to see, and it's fun for you guys to finally understand that we are that aggro too. A lot of us.
Right. Well, this was this like one attractive woman, as soon as spittles flying out of her mouth, and I was like, okay, you just went off my you just went off my happy memory list. Now,
and you guys should see too that Pete's wife is the most lovely, just like calm. How did you even score that? Really, true. I honestly actually want to know how you hooked up with her.
Well, I met her over drinks, and I've just kept her mildly drunk for the last 18 years. Like in the morning, I'm like, here's some orange juice, and she doesn't know that I spiked it. And so, like for like 18 years, she's been sort of. And it was a little tough when we had kids because I still had to keep her drinking through the pregnancy, which explames why why my kids have really short arms.
They may not be that tall, but they're cute.
Yeah, they're like, they have a little something wrong with them. But the point is,
she really is lovely. I really do think she's lovely.
Now she actually came from a tough working class down, and she slips into this mode sometimes. Like I know I'm in trouble when she calls me. Well, and she's English, and and she'll call me mate. And, and that's hey mate, and I'm like, oh,
morning,
God, where to come back to me, and then I know I better take down the trash
immediately.
Hey mate, how's that trash coming?
Gosh. I know we usually do praise or pummel, so I want to also see how some people think about some of these topics, but. Let's talk about George Clooney for our first praise or pummel topic here. He finally got married. I know a lot of guys are like, he was your hero, right?
I would have gone gay for George. I would have gone gay. No, think about it. Like, if you announce to your friends, like, hey guys, I think I'm gay. They'd be like, really? Jeez.
Yeah.
But but then if you said, I think I'm gay, but it's with Clooney.
And you're like,
suddenly you guys like, yeah! Can you get us over to Italy?
Italian villas!
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no, I would have gone gay for George.
Yeah, so you're praising the wedding, though, or you're pummeling the wedding?
Dude, I'm pummeling it.
You are? How come?
Because, George, you didn't have to have her be your baby mama. But you don't have to
that get kind of lady was not going to be a baby mama because he got a lady now. She's a barrister, in 2 countries. She's gorgeous.
Wait, did you say in 2 countries?
I mean, no, but I think no. I think
in Iceland, where I'm looking pretty good.
Isn't she a barrister as well as a? Didn't she also pass the bar here in the States? Is my point? Didn't she? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's
She's
what I'm
a
saying.
barrister.
You're right.
Yeah, but George likes his cocktail waitresses too.
But that's what I'm saying. He finally found one. And he was like, "Oh, this one's classy. Yeah. This is the classy one. I'm not gonna deal. She's not on Dancing with the Stars. She's not on,
But you don't think as next summer starts to hit and George is and that little thing hey, how about just like one little cocktail waitress? One little cocktail. As long as the barrister's away, little cocktail waitress.
Maybe she wrote up an agreement, a legally binding, you can have a cocktail waitress per year, binding agreement.
See that now?
I don't know. We don't know what.
Yeah, see, that's like, I kind of hope that they did do that. I hope that they're like, listen, we're going to get married, but I'm still George Clooney, and you can't take my cocktail waitresses away from me.
Yeah, I'm going to, it's funny on this and the praising or pummeling. I'm actually, I actually am kind of agreeing with you, though. I was kind of going to pummel it, too, not because I wanted all those other women to have a chance at him, you know what I mean? Because Clooney, I think, would be quite the catch. But also, I just think, I kind of liked that whole Bachelor thing he was doing, like that I kind of liked it.
He had the coolest life, jetting around Lake Como,
right. And here's the thing, I want the next generation, I want there to be more Clooney's, because I think he's cool. I like what he does socially. I think he's a good actor. I like who he is. It'd be nice for him to continue the legacy. But I don't want to be flipping through, Star Magazine and the pictures of George with a change in a diaper. That will ruin it.
No.
I don't want to see that.
Listen, he was living the life of Clooney.
He was
come on, one guy has to be Clooney.
One guy.
You can't take Clooney away from me.
Right? Who's the guy now? Who's gonna be who's clean? Who's gonna be the?
All
good
I
Clooney?
know is that after a year, first of all, she better have the best imagination, because come on, Clooney traditionally gets kind of tired of a woman.
Yes.
After a year. So we better start coming out on roller skates and pom poms, and then tomorrow night we're gonna be riding a broom and do that. She's gonna have to be a little bit more than a barrister. The sexy barrister only goes so far. Soon Clooney's gonna be like, how about playing a sexy doctor.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Or it could be love.
Or
there is that. There is that. They could love each other, and we're just shallow assholes. Totally. So
cynical.
Sorry.
I
praise it. Yeah. I praise love.
Sorry, love. You had a couple of other things that kind of were bothering you, or that you wanted to talk about. For praise or pummel.
Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian is at the Paris Fashion Week, and so she shows up at a fashion show, and she's wearing this black lace outfit. She's carrying her kid, who's wearing a matching black lace outfit, and it's dude, the kids now become an accessory,
totally.
A fashion, just some people have a little dog. I've got a little kid now,
a little child.
And I was wondering because I started to do kind of a chart, and we all kind of had to guess how quickly the kid would be screwed up.
Right.
But nobody had first quarter, first 5 minutes. But that kid's already 15 months into it, boom, done.
I do wonder what's going to happen when the kid looks back on the life they had before they were conscious of the life they were having. And when they look back and really, Mom? Really?
Yeah,
really?
Right.
Really?
Well, and and also, have you ever seen Kanye West smile at all? No. He's been
what?
He just looks like the most depressing, egocentric guy to hang out with.
He does, but you want to know something? A friend of mine is actually his lawyer. One of his lawyers. I think he has a cadre, right? As you would. She told me that he, though, is absolutely 100% in love with her. He literally, she was explaining it to me that if you had your dream girl in your head and everything, whatever, for him, she truly is that.
Right.
And so she said, you want to be cynical about it and you kind of want to bust on them, but when you see him, he absolutely is over the moon. That's his dream girl, which I find problematic. But if she never spoke, I think aesthetically I could go, yeah, that's an attractive girl.
Right.
But that's where it stops for me. And I also feel listen, as we already discussed, I like makeup too, but I do feel there's a whole lot going on there that's to make her look, that's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, no, she doesn't roll out of bed.
She doesn't roll out of bed looking like that. Yeah.
Apparently, though, she actually is a pretty nice person.
Is she?
And she's a hard worker. Yeah. And I just have problems with the little
the accessorizing of the baby.
Also, I went to a pet store once and I saw like this little motorcycle jacket for a dog, right? And like that thing's like $68.
It's expensive.
Well, and I actually think it should be like $450.
Like, yeah.
Like you know, like $1 for the material and like just like a $459 asshole tax. Like if you buy that, you should have to pay an asshole tax. Because first of all, I was so sorry for like that little Malaysian girl who spent like 18 hours like stitching this thing, and then she's like, "What did I finally make? Did I make the robe for the Pope? Did I make?" No, you made a motorcycle jacket for a dog, and she I mean, come on. And first of all, like I think like in some countries they eat dogs, so that I mean, instead of being like, "Hey, you just spent like the last like 12 hours making a sweater for your boss's burrito." I mean, come on. There's this. So anyway, that's just my personal problem with dressing up your pets and carrying them around. So.
Oh my God! Well, some people are saying that Conor is actually our new Clooney, which he could, I don't know. He's got a ways to go before he's as charming as George. But I actually remember getting back to the George because I can't now that the burrito. I'm not. I've interviewed George Clooney, and it was unfortunately for Batman and Robin, and which was bad.
Even Clooney.
Did I just tell everybody how old I am? Anyway, so he came in and I remember everybody used to talk about him and they're like, "Oh, he's this, he's that." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." He's like, "He's fine." He's like, "Whatever." And he walked in and it is like like he walks in and you go, "Oh my God." Like he's got it going on. He's got it going on. So speaking of the new mood that I was talking about, on it, mheat.com/on it, 2 N's, 2 T's, I believe. No, 1 T. 2 T's, 1 T. 1 T. 2 N's, 1 T.
You're like
my
the worst. You're like the worst person to advertise with. It's like, can you at least get our spelling right?
That was an alpha brain fail right there. It's ONNIT. Okay.
And that's what New Mood will do for you.
But no, this is what New Mood did for me. So the other day, the whole Clooney wedding thing, somehow it must have been on my mind. I was watching fights and all this weekend. But you go to bed right before you watch something of this. So I think in my head there was the dream of like, oh yeah, wouldn't that have been nice? Like, I'd get married in Italy, this like, rich Italian or whatever.
Wade didn't do that for you?
No. But in my dream, unfortunately, maybe this is not a great ad for New Mood, but it is though. My head went to Mario Batali, and so the big
fat chef.
So in my dream, but the good thing is because I do love to cook, but I was like, wow, someone's making food for me all the time. Like that actually is a dream. That's a dream to have somebody like have food at the ready all the time.
That, again, the worst advertisement for New Mood.
It was a fun dream. I woke up, it was fun. I felt.
And then you were like, oh, there's Wade. He's gonna probably make me a bowl of cereal. God, Mario would have had a nice little
frittata.
Yes, egg frittata with a nice seasoning. First of all, as long as we're talking about, I can't stand the celebrity chef.
Oh really?
It's like porn star, celebrity chef. It's like no, you're a chef who's on TV. You're not necessarily a celebrity. Chef. And you're porn you have sex on camera. You haven't reached star status yet. So I don't know. I don't know why every chef on TV is now a celebrity chef.
Well, I kind of agree though. I don't watch any of those cooking shows. I love to cook, but I don't. I used to watch Emerald. Like back in the day, because Emerald just was making food. Like it was like his Food Network one. You know what I mean? Where he just like it was Emerald in a kitchen and he cooked. There was no crowd. There was no. There was a couple of bands,
so
but that was
cooking.
it.
You can't say
that was a while ago. No.
I agree with you. I never watched any of this. Well, I did watch Emerald,
but that was,
and I did have a dream.
That was in Mario Batali.
Okay, I have a cooking chef problem.
No, that was years ago. But I've never watched Hell's Kitchen or Iron Chef or all those. Now it's like Pastry Boss and Cake King and. I
watched Hell's Kitchen once, and it's so funny because he treats what's happening in the kitchen like World War. He's like, the souffle is not ready. The souffle, you're like, dude, chill. It's just a friggin' souffle. We'll remake it. It's not like the Germans are attacking us right now. Like the souffle. It's like, okay, you gotta chill.
It's just lunch, man. It's just lunch. Oh God. Oh my God, somebody said Batman and Robin deserves an a-hole tax too. That was...
Yeah, no, seriously. You should be able to go to Clooney, show him your ticket stub, and get a refund.
Nice. Listen, Sativa Lag. Yeah, Sativa Lag says, I just joined the stream, so when are we going to talk about MMA? This is an E. Sativa, because you were high, you missed the beginning 45 minutes, which were all about MMA.
Man. We were doing techniques. We were showing...
Yeah, I dropped a really mean inverted triangle on him.
We spoke Portuguese for a while just for our Brazilian fans.
Yeah.
Sativa, you gotta come here on time,
bruh. The cool thing is, though, Sativa, that you can... fair enough.
All right. You know what? That's cool.
You can... this is all gets archived, so as soon as we're done talking, it'll be available for you to watch. So go back to the beginning. We talked all about UFC 178 and all kinds of stuff. So we definitely covered a heck of a lot of MMA in the show.
Now, there's an interesting from Ace.
From Ace. Karyn.
Who do you like more, Selena Gomez or Ariana? We have completely gone
all the way over. To be honest, Ariana Grande.
I got it. Yeah.
I got one problem without you.
Well, see, I can't even...
Because they're too young.
I actually can't even comment on that. It's like, hey, you, creepy high old guy, who do you like more, the 16-year-old from Mexico or the 16-year-old from the other place? Give us your opinion, creepy old guy. I mean, unless I'm really going to start talking about their music, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is musically, they're exactly the same. Musically, every Disney Channel artist is exactly the same. They're like, it's all the same. But I do, my daughter prefers the Ariana Grande. So I'm going to go with Ariana Grande.
Whichever one hasn't had Justin Bieber inside her. Are we not allowed to say that? Now, what's wrong? Now, why did that comment push us over the limit?
Anyways, high-fiving. You got a point there. Oh boy, Bieber. Oh,
the Biebs, man. The Biebs.
Go back to Canada.
Yeah, the Biebs. The Biebs. All right, I think we may be needing to wrap this up soon, Pete. So here's the thing, too. People have been asking about the podcast, and we're calling this the podcast. And we are, like I was saying earlier, going in transition. You know, when we were doing our stuff with Podcast One, a lot of people said, oh, can you guys put it on video? And they're really an audio-based company, cool people. So for now, we're doing it here on the YouTube channel, and we're actually going to be setting up another place to do this. So far, Wade has put up, if you go to MMAheat.com/podcast, he's got last week's up there. And he'll put this one up there as well. And we've on the technical side, we need to figure out how to house it, because clearly millions of people are going to be tuning in and downloading that. So we need to make sure that we have got a server farm. We might have to go to Iceland, where they have, they do that actually in like Iceland because it's cold there. Duh. And they have like these acres and acres of server farms there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have to pay as much to cool them. And so it's just like naturally, I know this sounds like totally dorky, but I swear to God, I saw something about that in Wired.
No, this was really interesting. See, this was really, information that I'm interested in.
Anyway, I'm sorry that I know about stuff like that too. But anyway, so really we have to figure that out. And people have been asking if it's going to be back on iTunes. I don't know. That's up to you. That's up to Wade to figure out the iTunes SoundCloud situation.
We'll work on it.
We're working on that. Was there one you wanted to? What?
Oh no, you just.
Creepy old guy. I'm doing half
crazy for Ted is my man.
Crazy for Ted.
You're not like a psycho, though, right?
No.
I mean, like the one guy who said something nice to me. I hope he's not a. I hope he's not a psycho.
And hey, listen, folks.
Crazy. I'm all.
No, Pete's cool. Listen, I'm on Fox Sports 1 this weekend. Doing on Friday we have the weigh-in show for the Halifax. It's Safadine versus Rory McDonald. That's going to be a good fight. That's actually some people were saying that Rory should have just already gotten next title shot or whatever. Tarek Safadine is one of those guys who's like a little bit less on the radar, but my man has kicks. He's good. I'm excited for that fight. So I'm doing the weigh-in show on Friday, and then on Saturday we're going to have some post-fight coverage on Fox Sports Live afterwards. So hopefully you can tune in. I I think it's me. I think Gilbert is there with us. I can figure out who. Just pause a moment. It's gonna be fun. The weigh-in stuff. It's fun. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, folks can tune in. To that as well. And also we have UFC tonight on Wednesday. Fingers crossed that this actually comes through. Lorenzo Fertitta is supposed to be joining us in studio, which is going to be great. We obviously all have a lot of questions for Lorenzo, so that'll be really cool if the big man comes into the studio. And then obviously we have The Ultimate Fighter, and I do Tough Talk afterwards, which is on Fox Sports Live. And I can't tell you who's coming in this week because I get links to the show in advance. So I already get to see who's...
So it's
come on. Secret? Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is good. So I just found out who's coming in.
The name rhymes with orange.
Yes, exactly. It's a trick question. Nothing rhymes with orange. That was a great password. The password is that. Remember Cable Guy? The password is.
You know what?
You've never seen Cable Guy?
I've never seen Cable Guy. I'm a little too young for Cable Guy.
Can you hear this, Pete, or should I turn it up?
I believe.
Read between the lines, my friends.
Really.
I'm going. Yeah. No,
all right, you definitely beat me immature-wise.
I'm gonna fight you now.
Maturity-wise.
Yeah. Oh God. But so anyway, that's what I'm doing this week over at the old FS1.
Cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So somebody had asked if this is every Wednesday. Monday. Jeez. I was thinking about UFC tonight is every Wednesday and Tough Talk. I don't know what day we should do this. Monday does work. I know sometimes we used to do it on Thursdays. Thursday afternoons was what we were doing before at Podcast One, and it would post on Fridays. So I don't know. Monday could work.
I think Monday works good because then we can, talk about the fights that we.
Right. I think sometimes Thursday was fun for me because sometimes I got a whole bunch of dish from UFC tonight, or from the fights. But Monday works so because it's kind of you get that Monday morning quarterbacking type of thing. Speaking of quarterbacking, Tom Brady in action tonight. Do it. Just do it. Just stay, and we'll just have some beers and we'll watch the game. It's gonna be wicked good. But yeah, so maybe Monday. So stay tuned. We'll keep everybody posted. But for now, thank you for watching and joining us live. It's fun talking to you guys. And like I said, this is gonna be archived immediately.
Cool.
So people can watch. It's a lot of fun, you guys. Thanks. Oh, and something else to look out for this week. Jonathan Schrager from mixedmartialarts.com did an interview with me on Saturday night at the fights. And, it was interesting because I'm not used to being interviewed. So, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm just going to see some questions. So,
not the question I would have asked, but...
Yeah. So it's weird. Hopefully you guys can check it out. I don't know. But he's going to be posting that later this week, too. So that's something to look forward to. Awesome. All right. Well, cool. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you soon.